Wearing number 14, junior.
Hello and welcome into the Erie Tiger Network. It's time for playoff soccer here on the ETN. Brandon Bird here with you. And alongside me, a couple of color announcers tonight. It's Jackson Higgins and Grayson Blaylock on the color call as we get you all set for this matchup here tonight between the Skyview Wolverines, the 3 seed in this Chassa 4A state tournament, and your Erie Tigers. And it's a handful of a matchup here, guys, as, well, Skyview 14-0-2. They have yet to lose this season, a talented roster. But when you look at the games and you try and break it down, and okay, does Erie have a shot here against the 3 seed? You look over the course of the season, and there are very few teams that Skyline just completely blew out of the water. They played a lot of close games, including a first-round game in which they played Skyline and won 2-1. So, guys, and Jackson, we'll start with you here. What's the outlook? What are the prognostications for tonight's game?
Well, you know, Skyview, they're an amazing team. They're a big team for this division right now. However, they're a very beatable team. We see the games that they've played so far, and they come through with a couple wins that really they just barely scraped through. So we played a couple teams that we think we can definitely face off this very, very beatable team.
And Grace, I know you've been pouring over numbers and rosters and nerding out like we like to do, and you got a chance to talk to a couple players, and what were their feelings?
They think, you know, this is going to be a tough game, one they'll win, but they think that, like the record shows, Skyview's good. They're 14-0-2. They have good wins, but they've also won many close games, which is a talent that can come in handy. They said their biggest key was playing like a team, especially on defense tonight.
I got to tell you, the PA announcer in this stadium is probably one of the loudest PAs I've heard in any stadium here in this, by the way, we're in Deterro Stadium here in Thornton at Skyview High School, and it is just blaring. So if you hear it loud in the background, don't worry. The good news is the PA announcer will not be talking all game long. That's just during the warm-up, so we can breathe a little bit easy there. But it's quite the loud environment here so far to start this one. While we have a moment, and maybe while we can let things quiet down, we'll take a quick timeout here on the ETN.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility, and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
With the iPad?
Maybe.
I assume we're not live yet.
Better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
Oh, come on, it's not Boulder. It's the – and welcome back to Erie Tiger Network as we're just discussing Jackson Higgins joining us. We're excited to have that alumni of this soccer team and a former member of the Tiger Times class, Grayson Blaylock, here with us. As the Tiger team is taking the field in their white jerseys, they'll be going left to right to start this game. Skyview in black and purple are their school colors, the Wolverines of Skyview, and they have yet to lose a game. And I know talking with the players, they really felt like this was a game where it's about discipline. It's about being in the right spots and seeing if you can break down this team, because Skyview is good. They're extremely talented, but if they're vulnerable to attack in a strong system that's disciplined, as sometimes Skyview can get a little bit lost in the one-on-one game. And so Erie set to get things started with Crooks. And here we go, and a quick steal. Skyview trying to bring it into the Tiger third. They'll play it back to their back line. That's something we didn't see a lot from Pueblo West, is they did not do a great job playing it backward and keeping possession. And so tonight I think the Tigers, that's why you got to be disciplined. Don't want to overly chase the ball in the back and wear yourself out, especially for the talented three forwards that this Tiger team has. Harbaugh trying to settle it down. Gets tripped up, and now Skyview will push forward. We are in the visitor press box, but we're sitting rather low toward the field, so a little hard for us, at least in the press box, to see that far side of the field, but we'll try and call names as best as we can as Reyes has it. Trying to pass it forward, a quick chance here, but losing it off his chest that time was Torres. And now a throw in here for Erie deep in the corner. Well, we are just a little over a minute in this one. What do you see, Jackson, in terms of the intensity on the field?
You know, initially our first thought is this is a team that is the most physical, the most well-prepared physically to play this game that we had in a long time. We've got a lot of athletic players out right now, and that's going to be a good win for us on defense. The big challenge for us is going to be offensively breaking down this defense that's looking pretty solid so far. Looks like they got a 4 in the back right now, the Wolverines do, which means our forwards are going to be working hard the whole game.
Erie trying to gather possession. Now with it through the midfield is Skyview into the legs of Garcia. Garcia laying it off to the back row. The back line for Skyview really climbing high here into an offensive posture. Crooks trying to chase, a little 1-2 in the box and just gets away off the feet of Ramos. Tried to settle it down and safely into the arms of Hollis.
No, that's the worry right now. We don't want to be too eager to get this defense winning the ball. We're going to have a lot of players playing on the backs of those Wolverines, the Wolverine forwards. We got to be playing a little more aggressive.
So a clear there, and Erie will have a throw in. And haven't really seen Erie threaten so far, but very early in this game. And you got to be excited, Tiger fans. This is the first time this Erie soccer program has ever been in the second round of the state playoffs. And Jackson, I know you're the last Tiger to even play in the playoffs as a freshman, and when you guys went up to Longmont and lost by a heartbreaking goal. Now a through ball attempt, settled down, laid off here to the near side. That's Reyes with it, trying to cross it back to the middle, then dug out there by the Erie defense. And Erie just has to settle down, hold possession, and connect passes through the midfield. Good little layoff there by Crooks. Racing up the far side is Hudson. Hudson trying to find Crooks. Spills back out to Hudson. Hudson will have a cross opportunity here. He'll try and step back over toward the 18, cross it with the left foot. It's deflected toward the end line and corralled out for an Erie throw-in. Good little build-up play that time for the Tigers, and that gets the Erie fans who have traveled pretty well for this game excited. Of course, that second half in Pueblo was some of the most exciting soccer we've ever seen on the ETN. It was an overtime winner by Grady Wolver that did it, and he is up for 9 News Prep Athlete of the Week. So, Grace, I think he's excited about that, and we're trying to pump him a little bit, help him win that.
Grady is excited about it. Saw him when he found out about it, actually, after school today, and was right ranked as the 3rd best play of the week, all fall sports.
Tigers still holding on possession into the Skyview 3rd. Throwing into the box, a bouncer that's not quite taken care of and now finally cleared. And Nemeth back there to pick it up. Nemeth playing Jackson's old position there at center back, kind of the sweeper for this team, and he's been rock solid all year, Jackson.
He's played excellent. We ask a lot of Blake during the games. He's our one back sweeper, which means it's high risk, high reward back there.
Now up the near sideline. Tigers trying to stay disciplined here. You have a lot of talented players across into the box. That will go over everyone's head and out for a goal kick. And so just 5 minutes into this one, no score. Neither team has really taken a good look at goal. After an early kind of surge by Skyview, Tigers have settled in here a little bit and had a little bit of a opportunity in the Skyview box in that last run through. And an out of bounds kick and a throw in here for Skyview in front of the Tiger bench. Skyview trying to reverse field defensively. Good little pass there in the midfield. Trying to weave his way for the Wolverines was Garcia. Now a long kick. Oh, and that just went over the top. That was Luis Reyes, the 5'7" junior that took a pop at that one. Reyes, the 2nd leading goal scorer on this team with 18. 70 goals scored on the year for Skyview. Erie, we talked about the goal scoring difference between Erie and Pueblo West last game, where Erie had significantly more. Skyview even more so than Erie, who's a pretty offensive team this year. Skyview trying to break down this back line for Erie, standing stout so far. Harbaugh trying to flick one on, find Hudson. Tigers really have yet to kind of connect a lot of passes through the midfield. A lot of the back row trying to pump it up to the front row, maybe catch a quick counter. What if you're Coach Vigil, what is the strategy here tonight against a pretty talented team?
You see a team right here in Skyview that handles the ball very well, which means a lot of our long balls are going to be an easy way out. As a defender, especially in the back with our sweeper Blake, we're going to see a lot of long balls. Not necessarily is this the best way to go. A lot of times you're going to want to build out of the back, but we don't want to be risking enough right now.
That one hammered from the box. Long ball, cleared away temporarily. Now gathered here. Skyview on the attack. Ball into the box. Good settle down on the first touch and a quick flick on, and that one is wide for a goal kick. But Reyes, you saw the talent right there. I mean, just settled that one down on a dime on the first touch and was able to get a quick look.
That's where you find success in a team like this. You got a forward like that. It goes 1v3, settles the ball and gets a shot off. That's one thing that historically Erie struggled with is an offensive power. But right now with the addition of Zach Crooks, possibly the fastest kid I've ever seen, and Evan Hudson up top, it's been great seeing a team that's really looking towards goal more than they ever have.
Yeah, it's been a few years. Remember back to the days of Dominic Bird and Josh Meekles filling the back of the net throughout the year. But those guys weren't speedsters like we see. As there's a nice through ball. Hollis coming off his back line. He's able to get to it and cover it up, and a little bit of a dangerous play there.
This is the worry of having a sweeper back there. The farther he backs up, the more he gets into the box, the more room he gives. So we want to see a sweeper that's willing to step up, and that's what we got to see from Blake, a little more intensity.
Throw in here for the Wolverines. Brandon Bird, Jackson Higgins, Grayson Blaylock here with you on a chilly night here in Thornton, but not too cold considering it's November. Just chilly enough that it's good soccer weather. Skyview trying to settle down here in the midfield. Doing a good job of spreading the field wide and playing sideline to sideline as Skyview. That's Ibarra with it. Help late in the middle to Garcia. try and sneak it forward to Ramos. Back to goal. Try to slip a pass in. And I think that was Wolver that tracked all the way back to clear that one. Now the Tigers trying to build up from the far sideline. And right now it seems like the entire game has been played on the left side of the pitch. Ooh, through ball that just didn't quite connect to Wolver, and had that, the Tigers might have had some numbers on a counter. Another thing that's a factor right now, Brian Fierro, the goalkeeper for Skyview, man, he can really boot that ball far down the field. Now a cross in here for Erie, and that one will hit the side of the net as Harbaugh tried to skid one in low. The Tigers getting a couple counters in here. Jackson, is this a game where you just almost just try and absorb pressure, and then hit them with a counter?
When you play these possessive style teams, which is essentially what Vigil is trying to bring to the Erie soccer style, you've got to be aware of these switches. You see Skyview's favoring their right side players. All it takes is one long switch, and right now you see Blake. He's back on his own 55. Normally you'll have the defense stay up on their own 50 just to make sure they're not offsides. Oh man, it's through. It's through.
And a through ball and a one-on-one with the goalie.
We got three defenders back. They got to step up.
A little dummy, and then a shot and a nice save off the fingertips of Hollis. And so a little bit nervy there. And Jackson stepping in there. You can hear the former player nerves.
And that's what it is. That's one breakthrough. You just see one switch, and our entire defense is on its heels.
Skyview trying to slip another through ball in here. And again, it's Reyes on the near side trying to step over here against Tiger defense. Cross into the box. Top of the 18. Spinning is Ibarra. Now laying it off. A long crack, low and wide. And right now, Skyview, plenty of chances so far. They're playing pretty well together. You know, if you weather the storm, teams get frustrated. That's when mistakes start happening. They start pressing.
I want to see some physicality here from Erie. That's the best way to get these teams frustrated. So far, we've been doing pretty well defending. We just got to get on their backs a little more. We've got some size. We've got some physicality on our team. I'd like to see us use it a little bit more.
Hudson trying to settle down in the midfield. And a foul called here on Skyview. And Tigers will probably take a chance here to push some numbers forward. And they'll actually go quick here out of the set piece. And Hudson almost onto the end of that in the box. Skyview trying to settle it down. A good job avoiding the corner kick, and a throw in here for Erie. Throw in here from the near side for the Tigers. Manuel couldn't quite get to that. Settles down for the foot of Fitzjohn. He had the game-winning assist to Wolver. Back to Fitzjohn. Ping-pong soccer here. Now in the box. Can the Tigers get to it? Crooks trying to chop it through. And Skyview's able to clear. And, oh, man, the ball was dangerously in the box there for it seemed like an eternity. And the Tigers just couldn't quite get enough toe to it. And that one will roll over the end line. Good chance there for the Tigers to try and break this scoreless deadlock here in the second round of the playoffs. Something this Erie program has never done before in what I believe is their 6th year in existence. 6 or 7. It's all running together now here.
It is their 6th.
There you go. Skyview trying to switch sides of the field here. Once again, the back line for Skyview pushing way forward here, and the Tigers really sinking in. Cross into the box, headed on, and Hollis able to patiently wait for that. He could have very easily tried to dive toward maybe a half volley kick. Instead, he waited, and it was headed right to him.
You got a couple really young defenders out there, and that's what you hate to see. Is you hate to see someone beat off the ball. So we got to see a little more initiative from these other players. Blake's out there; he's leading well. He's one of our older players and one of our more seasoned players. But other than that, this is an entirely new defense compared to last year.
And we mentioned how young this Tiger team is, but how successful they've been, as Manuel will push one forward. A little too much weight behind that one as he tried to push it forward to Crooks. Crooks had one of the Tigers' 3 goals and leads this team in scoring. Now Manuel on a quick turnover, an overlapping run toward Harbaugh. Harbaugh trying to get on the end of this one. Will send across it with the left foot in towards Crooks, and he got to his feet, and he just misjudged it a little bit. I don't know if it was tipped coming into him or he just couldn't quite settle it down, but he pings it wide, and that was by far, I think, the best chance of the night for Erie. So goal kick coming here for Skyview, a sub coming in for the Tigers, as Xander Fernandez will take a little break, as well as James Sorrell. So a couple Tigers coming out, and for the first time today we see Sam Folk into the game, and Folk we thought was going to be the hero. He had this second goal of the game last week. And unfortunately, Tigers gave up a late goal to Pueblo West to equalize it, to send it into overtime. But we've seen Folk now a few times here this year, and man, what a player for the Tigers. He has been a real spark off the bench. Folk actually attends Longmont Christian High School, playing for this Erie Tiger team. As there's a ball sent in, and Hollis been busy and active tonight, but he's been solid so far. You know, Jackson, people think of goalies with great performances. An American audience will think to Tim Howard, maybe in the World Cup, but really you don't want to hear your goalie's name called very much.
The best teams, you never know their goalie.
Now Wolver with it, trying to sneak it to Harbaugh. Manuel will touch it, and Harbaugh trying to run around, and he got absolutely pelted off the ball. No foul call, and it was Harbaugh trying to cut off the offensive player, and there's the physicality you talked about, but coming from the Skyview side.
Just a little physicality throws off an entire team, and that's what we got to see from here. We got some big guys out here. I know Sam in. We got Jacob Marcuse, who's notoriously an incredibly physical player.
In the box now, and a little dummy, a shot, and that's deflected high. Oh, man. You saw the speed going forward there for Skyview. It was dangerous there for a moment. Once again, the Tigers avert any disaster. No score here, 22 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in this first half. Pretty good action back and forth. A couple chances for the Tigers, but really Skyview, a lot of possession. That's kind of what we expected here tonight, and that corner kick just whistles through the box and out for a Tiger throw-in. This Wolverine soccer team, as we mentioned, undefeated under Coach Justin Thomas, 14-0-2 this year. And you look at their schedule, one interesting tie late in the season. That's why you say, well, maybe they're a little vulnerable. They tied to Fort Lupton in their last regular season game, so that's how they came into the playoffs. They have been to several overtime games. In fact, at one point, they played 4 straight overtime games. They won 2-1 over Niwot. They tied Silver Creek 0-0. They won 2-1 over Lincoln and 5-4 over Holy Family. So that's why you say, man, this team, although they're unblemished in their record, it feels like any night it could happen. The upset could happen. You just hope it happens on a night where the Tigers are on the field. Now played out wide, a boot and a cross toward the far post, and Hollis is there again. A lot of long crosses and shots from Skyview. Haven't really seen them work it into the box and settle it down a ton. Hudson, a nice little exchange there with Wolver, and he's still holding on to possession.
You'd love to see Erie calm down a little bit right now. They got the ball. I'd like to see Jeff, some of our older players, kind of calm our team down a little bit. That's what it's got to take.
Now Manuel, a nice little stop and tried to find an overlapping run. Oh, and a turnover there that if Crooks could have settled that down on a sizzling pass, That would have maybe been dangerous. Now Hudson with it, trying to gather it before the corner. He'll stop, fakes, now tries to beat the defender, and that one is cleared away. Hard to go 1v1 against this Skyview team. Wolver has it now. Wolver crosses. Oh, just missed the foot of Folk. And we haven't really seen Folk have a touch yet. That's, I think, something we'd like to see from Erie is use Folk in that central attacking role. That's where he's really excelled.
Vigil's got to be looking for some connections in the midfield right now. We just seem kind of empty. We're completely separate, which is part of the risk of having Blake back on his own 35 right now, or 25. You got a team that's completely separated with their defense, midfield, and offense.
Now Hudson with it. Hudson, the nice little Maradona. Harbaugh with his back to goal, tried to turn and crack. Now the ball settling toward the feet of Manuel, but it'll be picked up by Skyview, and they'll have a chance here. Skyview with numbers back behind the ball, and not much of a counter opportunity here. And now a foul called on Erie. 19:35 remaining here in half number 1. No score. Quick restart here on the free kick for Skyview. Near side pass. Wolverines on the attack, and a good defensive play there for Wolver and the Tigers. And Wolver's work rate has been really high so far in this game.
That's the player you want with the 1v1 on Erie right now. We trust Grady with all our hearts, man.
Looking for the throw in here is Skyview. Tip up to Crooks, trying to turn and send a through ball to Hudson. And good job defensively that time was Casillas to squelch that chance. And the Tigers trying to walk some numbers forward here. Be a little more patient, not rush things, and get some numbers out in front of the ball. See if you can't maybe build through the midfield a little bit. Now Fitzjohn with it. Try to lay it off to Harbaugh. They try to get 1-2, and instead a little bit misplayed there and cleared away by Skyview. Erie, though, they've absorbed a lot of pressure, but starting to show a little bit more of an offensive punch.
With a young team, you look to see a little bit more maturity coming out here. It's got to be hard with their first experience in the second round of playoffs. I think coming into the couple minutes down, we're finally calming down a little bit.
18 minutes left in this first half, no score. Near side pass. A little one-on-one here, Ramos. And instead it'll fall to the feet of Folk. Folk with his head up. And I don't know if that was intended for Wolver or Hudson. A little bit of a miscommunication there, I think.
You mentioned Folk best in that lead attacking role. Actually didn't see varsity time until the Longmont game when Zach Crooks was sick, so Folk stepped in, played well on that Longmont game, and has stayed in the varsity rotation since.
So Sam Folk, actually, we weren't sure he was going to be able to make it back this year. He started last year. He was kind of a surprise recruit for us, a young sophomore coming in, just a beast. Excellent recruit, though, and he plays strong. His late addition to the game has really benefited our team as a stoic goal scorer.
Yeah, has really added an offensive punch to this Tiger team. I mean, you have already a pretty solid top three in kind of a 4-3-3 set, it typically looks like out here with Crooks, Harbaugh, and Hudson up top, and then you add Folk kind of as that central attacker. And man, the Tigers offense certainly been potent, and you saw it last game in the second half against Pueblo West. As a goal kick coming here for Erie, 16:33 remaining here in half number 1. Brandon Bird, Jackson Higgins, and Grayson Blaylock here with you.
Vigil loves playing this 4-3-3 because you got these two wingers right now. You got Evan and Evan, left and right. But when they come back, you kind of have a 4-5-1, which is ideal, especially playing a midfield-heavy team with Skyview right now. When you need to, you've got these defenders. Right now, I'd love to see a little more action from them defensively.
Little miscue there. Tigers just kind of waiting here. And that's something we haven't seen the Tigers do a lot of, is play the ball backward, be patient, just relieve pressure. And a little bit more patience there that time from Erie.
We have seen Skyview play the ball back often, though.
A little loose ball that's disposed of in the Tiger box. Aguirre has it. He'll try and cross the field here. They'll switch sides on the attack. Good job by Wolver defensively. And now that'll fall safely at the feet of Manuel. Wolver right now has been just a beast defensively for the Tigers. Folk will turn it over. Chance here. Long shot. That's a deflection. And I'll tell you what, that'll be a corner. But the Tigers on a little turnover right there, they'll take a shot from 35 yards out all day, I think. Was off the foot of Ibarra, and now Skyview pushing numbers forward here for the corner kick. They were dangerous on their last corner, second of the game here for the Wolverines. 14:45 left to go. Low cross, top of the box, settled down. The shot off the gloves of Hollis and into the back of the net, and it's a 1-0 Wolverine lead here, and that was a beautifully designed set piece from Skyview, and that gives them the lead. And it was just Jared Ramos that was streaking toward the top of the box. He settled down and ripped it from 18.
You got a man sitting on top of 18, completely unmarked. No one's seeing him, no one's calling. That's what we got to see, is either Trey or Blake calling out these marks, especially on corners. This team's going to be really dangerous, and so it's disappointing to see him go unmarked.
Scoring for the
And in
Wolverines,
the pregame, if you
number
heard
11,
this
senior
PA system is booming. So we may not have much of a halftime for you if there are many announcements here. It's just, even with our mics all the way, we're literally on the opposite side of the stadium. That's how loud this PA system is. And you heard the goal scored there by Jared Ramos for Skyview. Ramos is the leading goal scorer. That's his 21st goal of the season for the Wolverines, and they have the 1-0 lead with now 14 minutes left. A little tap through, and Harbaugh almost got to that, screaming off his back line to get that was Fierro.
You love to see an urgent response right there with a team that really has a history of getting emotional after a loss. You got to fight back right away. You're going to see a Skyview team that's playing a lot calmer now. We've got to fight back with emergency.
I got to ask you, Jackson, that we've said on the broadcast before, the old adage is you're most vulnerable to give up a goal after you score a goal, as Hudson trying to get into Crooks, and he is knocked down from behind, and a foul called here about 30 yards from the box. So dangerous set piece here for the Tigers, but you're most vulnerable to give up a goal after you score a goal. Why is that?
Really, I think it's not the team that scores that really is a danger after scoring. It's the team you're playing against. If you find a team that's fighting back hard after a loss of a point, you know, it's going to be much harder defensively. You've got a team right now, though, that's possessive heavy. You're going to see a lot more calm play from Skyview, or that's what you'd ideally see. We just got to see Erie fight back hard, make him dangerous.
So Erie's going to take Nemeth with the free kick here. Numbers into the box. There are 8 Tigers into the box right now. 7 Tigers in the box with Wolver out wide. Nemeth will play it to Wolver, who's trying to streak in, and in just a little too much weight. I liked the idea there from the Tigers as Wolver went unmarked, but Nemeth just had a little too much sauce on it.
Historically, we have not seen much success out of set pieces out of Erie. Just in the air, tend not to do so well. It's nice to see some creativity on our free kicks.
Under 13 minutes to go here in this first half. Goal kick coming from Skyview. We've said Fierro, he can boot it. I mean, that's from his 6-yard box up to the other side of midfield. Now played up Crooks, tried to heel flick it onto Harbaugh and then tried to flick it on again. And now he'll try and get one up to Manuel. Wolver, a nice steal, a turnover in a dangerous spot here. Wolver tried to slip one through to Manuel. Played out to Hudson, and he'll let it go as that was deflected by a Wolverine. 1-0 Skyview here. First half of play, 11:36 remaining.
Man, the Skyview defense is a machine right here. As soon as that ball is played up, you've got 5 defenders immediately getting back, and that's one thing you'd like to see a little more from Erie, is a little more communication between that midfield and defense.
Throw in into the box. Folk tried to get to it. Manuel was waiting for it, but it was a nice clear there. Now Fitzjohn trying to just keep it in to a dangerous part of the field, and another throw in coming for the Tigers.
As unsuccessful as that shot was, it's nice to see us get at least a foot off. You got 11 minutes left in the first half, and that's really the first look towards goal other than Zach Crooks.
Tigers trying to keep pressure here in this Wolverine third. Harbaugh down that far sideline. Harbaugh's a player that hustles immensely on the field and can draw fouls and get under players' skin, and we'll see if he can do that here at some point in the second half or at the end of this first half. Nemeth trying to send a long ball back in, just misses the head of Manuel.
There's that physicality we need to see from Jacob Marcoux. That's one thing that makes him a commodity out there in the back, is he's not afraid to body up.
Skyview with it up the sideline. Good little steal here and a chance maybe for a counter from the Tigers. Through ball with too much weight behind it, and then a foul coming. I think they're going to call that on Crooks. So he tried to dance around the defender and kind of knocked him down.
It's a great carry up from Zach Higgins right there. That's where we got to see our possession start. It starts all the way in the back. We can't keep booting it up. It's unsustainable.
Volk gets the free kick, settles it down, trying to keep possession here in the midfield, lays it off for Wolver.
You got a ref calling a very loose game right now. We got to take advantage of that. I'd love to see Jeff over halftime talk to these players about how we got to play so much more physical in order to make a dent in these players.
Under 10 minutes to play now here in half number 1. Here on the Erie Tiger Network. Tiger fans, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can like the Erie Tiger Media Facebook page, follow us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Media, or check out the Erie Tiger Media Instagram. And as always, subscribe to the Erie Tiger Network here on YouTube. Now Folk trying to play it off one touch. Back to Wolver. Wolver will settle it down. Through ball in the half volley. Now Hudson. You can see the Skyview team, they are tracked back defensively so well. Harbaugh tried to lay one through to Manuel, almost connected. Now Hudson will settle it down. Good job here by the Tigers, just keeping possession. Trying the little 1-2 game, and this hasn't quite found the right through ball to get that little one-on-none break. Now a little tip here as Crooks just couldn't quite get on the end of it. He was marked well at the back, and we've seen that from a bunch of different Skyview players here tonight.
Got a lot of vertical long balls being played right now, which makes it very easy to defend these even fast players like Zach Crooks. When you play these vertical balls, there's not much of a plane to play against. So I'd love to see some diagonal balls played across, some switches. Gotta put this defense on their heels.
Wolverth maybe eyeing a long throw in here. It's Fitzjohn trying to break down the defense. Trips.
Blake's got to step up. He's backing up. What's he doing right now? There's not a long ball to be played. There he goes.
Now Blake trying to get into the teeth of this Skyview offense, and he will force an Erie throw-in.
Excellently defended by Marcoux and Nemeth out there. Love to see it.
7:15 left to go here in half number 1, as Erie will try and find an equalizer. I don't think they've had an official shot on goal yet. They've been dangerous a couple times. But as we expected, this three-seed Skyview, so talented across the board. For Erie to play well, they're going to have to really play smart, disciplined soccer here tonight.
What we're seeing right now, I think, is the evolution of American soccer. We've got a team with Erie that struggles with still just playing those long balls, which is historically that's been America's style of play. We've got Skyview right now playing this possession style of soccer, which is extremely effective in terms of breaking down a defense. And that's Vihil's goal. Vihil's goal is to change this Erie team up, try and make sure it's kind of that Barcelona style play where you've got a strong midfield that works through all the way from the back, not afraid to possess and take that time.
And what a job Coach Vihil has done. You know, obviously you saw after Meekles and Bird and Brandon Cummings all left, and that team that was pretty solid. It was a young squad, and it took a little while to get this going, but you can see this is still a young Erie squad, but a squad that's a lot more talented than we saw a couple years ago.
Definitely. I think the coaching is a huge part of it. Beal's come in and made this program so much stronger than it used to be. I think having 4 coaches in 2 years is kind of a problem, but having him come and stay and decide to, you know, fight it out with Erie has been extremely beneficial, and we're very grateful to Vihil.
And a foul called here on Skyview. 5:24 remaining here in this first half. Brandon Bird, Jackson Higgins, and Grayson Blaylock here with you.
You know, I love watching Jacob from up here because, you know, down there he's talking to those players the whole time. One thing Jacob does excellently is he talks to those players and gets under their skin.
A 1-on-4 here, snuffed out well by backtracking Fitzjohn. Tried to find Hudson, and Hudson tried to play it back to Wolver, and a turnover here. A chance for Skyview racing into the open field. Skyview taking their time. They'll play it out wide here in the box. Dangerous moment here for the Tiger defense. Cross to the far side, and that's headed to the top of the box. Volley, and that one is wide. A little bit nervy time there for the Tigers as they had to kind of just weather that mini storm on a turnover.
I loved that Jeff got back on that play, but you still see unmarked men, and that's something that Blake's got to lock down. He's got to make sure his defense is put together and marking those Skyview players.
4:16 here left in this first half. Trying to switch sides of the field to Skyview, and that one will roll out of bounds as it's still a 1-0 lead here for the Wolverines in Thornton at Totero Stadium.
That shot from Skyview that just missed wide, their first since the goal.
Skyview has kind of taken a little bit more of a defensive posture here, but they have really bogged down Erie in the midfield. Now Manuel with it, trying to connect. And another good backtracking defensive play to squelch any counter. The Tigers down, but certainly not out, only trail a goal.
There you see it. You know Jacob's talking, and man, I love it.
3:05 remaining here in this first half.
You know, I'd love to see these, especially seniors, step up a little bit. You know, playing this last season, it's got to be emotional. Looking back, you know, these are kind of the best years you got to work hard and do what you can for your team. Especially because these players, a lot of them, are not college prospects. I think that's one thing that Beal's hoping to change over the next few years is seeing a team that's ready to play collegiately. I think the first right now that we really expect is Nemeth. Nemeth's intentions, I believe, are to play.
Blake has certainly been solid all year long at center back for the Tigers. Has a goal kick coming here for Skyview. Temperature dropping just a little bit, but that's more of a concern for the fans and the broadcasters. Still pretty crisp night, fun to run around, and it's not scorching hot out here on the turf field, I think. And playing under the lights in playoff soccer, fun opportunity for these players out here. Now Skyview trying to connect here through the midfield. Chance for a little bit of an attack from Diaz, and Diaz tried to sneak one wide, and a little bit of a misplay there by Skyview, and here with a deep throw-in.
And that's the first time I've really heard that Erie defense talking loud back there, and that's one thing you hope to see much better in the second half, and I believe Vihill's going to be talking to them about that, is they just seem a little bit disconnected out there.
Skyview trying to switch the field. They'll play it back quick, maintain possession. Aguirre has it. Now through the midfield is Ramos, and we saw him with the goal. Now a long shot that's deflected into the box, and Hollis will have to come up, and he skies and makes the play. Always nervy on those bouncers. Sometimes with the spin, you never know quite how high it'll kick up. Now Manuel trying to send a through ball to Hudson.
And there's another vertical ball, man. I mean, we got to see some diagonal play from Erie. Playing on the same plane is not going to work on this defense that's so ready to get back.
42 seconds left. Fitzjohn. That's the second Maradona of the night for the Tigers. Hudson again. Trying to send a long one into the box, and that one just kind of hit right into the belly of the goalkeeper. And Fierro jumping on, laying on it like he's a European goaltender, trying to waste time. Will bounce it around a few times and is happy to just burn time with the lead here, as that should do it here in the first half of play. And at the end of one half of play, it is Skyview 1, Erie 0. We're going to take a timeout here on the ETN. When we come back, we'll kind of analyze the first half of play here in this one. And we'll get you ready for the second half here on the Erie Tiger Network.
On the north side of the press box.
Have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you. Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Have you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction in knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
This is more than a bundle.
Click the thumbs up icon to like the video. To enter full screen mode, press the icon on the bottom right hand corner. To skip forward or backwards 10 seconds, double tap the left or right hand side of the screen. Press the pause button in the middle of the screen to pause the video. To skip to a different video, press the skip button when the video is paused.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Go to where your friends are. Go to where the action's at. Go find your sense of adventure. Go Airheads, Airsoft Field and Store located in Erie, Colorado. Go Airheads and go Tigers.
And welcome back in here to the Miners halftime show. Brandon Bird, Jackson Higgins, Grayson Blaylock here with you. It's a 1-0 Skyview lead as we are about a minute away or so from the start of the second half. But real quick here, Jackson, you've been in this huddle at halftime before with Coach Vigil. What's he saying to these guys?
You know, I think right now he's up in these guys. They played a solid half. They played physically. They've done well. Playing against a very, very possessive, strong team. So we're going to see a little bit more of a calm team coming out from Erie. We want to see the first 10 minutes. Those are vital, the first 10 minutes of the second half. We want to see some really fast play from Erie right away. Got to initiate some good play.
And there it is. That's the Miners halftime show. For the best place to post game, check out Miners on Brick Street. So here we go. Start of half number 2. Tigers, you can tell just in their posture, they feel in this. They're only down a goal. And, hey, it's playoffs. They're going to leave it all on the field here in this round of 16. The first time that Erie has ever been in this round, as they won their first playoff game on Saturday over Pueblo West out on the road. And so Erie trying to do it on the road again, but a little bit closer to home this time here in Thornton. And it'll be Thornton that will start with the ball here.
One thing you notice right away is we got Marcoux out there starting the second half. He played a great first half. I'd love to see him be even more physical this half.
So put 40 minutes on the board. And here we go.
If I'm Skyview right now, I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. They've got a strong defense. They're going to come out fighting right away.
Saw the Erie back as that needed to be saved as it had some pace. As Erie, all their forwards jumped on a little dummy kick, and they just turned around and pitched it forward. And a little good attack there off the opening kick in the second half for Skyview.
It's an ideal time to catch a team off guard, and I think they did it successfully. We got our back line completely shocked by a long ball.
Heck, and you know that Erie's going to be playing aggressive, so almost like in football where a team starting to crash down, you throw reverse at them. And that's what you see there on that opening little bit from Skyview, but no danger, or at least no damage done. As Manuel, who played really outstanding in Pueblo West.
Excellent take. That's some great initiative from that midfield right now, and that's what we got to see a change in the second half. Is our midfield playing really strong? They have the potential.
Manuel had Harbaugh wide and streaking.
And the struggle right now with Blake being so far back because we got 11 streaming through, and we've got Grady stuck trying to catch up. One thing that you'll not see ever called for Erie is an offsides call against Skyview.
Now Harbaugh tracking all the way back from that forward spot, play a little bit of defense. Man, what a high line that Skyview has played all game with their back line. Pretty much standing right at midfield as there's a shot that just ricochets high and a goal kick coming. And oh man, that would have pretty much been disaster for the Tigers, and an eyelash too high.
You know, one thing I love about having Trey back there is he's pretty stoic the whole time. He plays solid, he keeps the team calm, and that's one thing that really Erie benefits from. I don't think we actually have more than one emotional player out there right now.
Manuel trying to settle down in our bus ride down to Pueblo West. These players, they're getting into it. They were singing songs together, but before they got to the school, as they're kind of pulling in, they did the "I believe that we will win" chant as a team on the bus. And usually you see fans do that, but the team doing it on the bus, I thought that was pretty cool and shows these guys are pretty connected and friendly toward each other. And hopefully that pays dividends here. Now across into the box, headed. Just miscued by Harbaugh. Couldn't quite get on top of it and poked it high, as that might have been the best look of the night for the Tigers.
And right now it looks like we got Zach Higgins playing up front, which is not normally his position. We got Grady Wolver back left.
Now Hudson will crack one. Oh, and just whistled it wide as Hudson had it on his right foot and cracked it toward the corner. And oh man, I thought that was branded for the back of the net.
That one missed by about a foot or two.
And that was by far the best chance of the night for the Tigers, but you can feel here the confidence growing for this Tiger team. They're young, and I've said this a few times on different broadcasts before, but it's amazing what confidence will do for 15, 16, 17-year-olds. A little bit of confidence here is kind of giving the Tigers a little bit of life.
And if I'm Skyview, I'm getting nervous right now.
Turnover the midfield for Erie. Skyview willing to kind of just wait and be patient. Erie would love to force them into a mistake, though. That's the one maybe downside when you're a team that possesses, is sometimes you play it back. If your back line is not sharp in possession and they give one away, that's a recipe for a quick goal. Little 1-2 into the box, but too strong on the through ball and out for a goal kick.
Now it looks like on that last play, Zach is still playing left back. He's just playing that wing back position, which Jeff Vigil loves to have out there. When you have four in the back, you risk losing some offensive power, but when you have these wing backs playing up like that, it makes you very dangerous.
Hudson trying to control on the sideline. Crooks And Crooks just hasn't quite found the seam and the right through ball to him yet to exploit. And there's a through ball, and there's an offside. Nemeth steps up and draws the offside. How about that?
Jackson saw it coming.
I had misspoken before. I said they wouldn't ever be called. I will take my word back. It was called. Excellent step up by Blake, and I love to see that. You got a guy with some major soccer IQ out there with Blake and Jeff. Love to see it put to use.
Trey will send one up toward the midfield. Wolver tried to flick it on. Erie trying to pressure at that back line. And you feel like one little deflection, and Erie is ready to pounce with this high line from Skyview. If they just get one little crack in the defense, it feels like you could get that 1-on-0. And Erie's starting to play a little higher.
Excellent recovery by Grady.
Big first touch there, works out in Erie's favor. Now settled down, long shot, and that one is good through the uprights.
Fortunately, we're not playing American football.
Yes.
And that's not 3 more points for Skyview.
33 minutes and 30 seconds left in this second half of play. Tigers down 1-0, but looking a little bit sharper here in the second half as Crooks will go off and Folk will come in.
That halftime talk must have done the trick. Those first 10 minutes have been excellent to see from Erie.
Erie has been aggressive, physical, and confident on the ball here in half number 2 so far. Now Folk will come in.
You know, one thing I'd like to see, we got Blake so far back right there. That's a great use for a switch if we start our possessive play with the back line.
Skyview attacking down that left wing. Near the 18, good little dance into the box, across, flicked on and in, and oh man, what a great pass and a strong finish, and that is Roger Ibarra that scores, and now it's 2-1 Skyview.
That's 2 breakdowns we've seen from the left side coming on our back. You got to see a change right now.
So now Tigers, they just couldn't quite get that equalizer, and now you're in danger. You got to really push numbers forward. Now you're in danger of really getting sliced in the back.
And that's the risk of playing aggressive immediately out of the second half. You got a defense that's going to be playing a little on their heels.
Scoring for your Wolverines, number 5, senior Luis Reyes.
So Reyes was the one that scored the goal. And you look at this roster, a ton of seniors for Skyview versus a ton of juniors and sophomores for Erie. And that experience kind of paying off. In fact, 14 seniors on the Skyview roster. The Tigers, they have half a dozen seniors on their roster. So a big disparity in experience. Now Folk trying to get into the box, lays it off, cross in. Folk kept it from going out, and a clear here for Skyview. It's John doing well to regain possession.
When you try a move like that, you better win that ball back or Bihill's going to be having you out.
Fitzjohn, oh, what a shot! Oh, and that one just whistles wide, and that's the second time in this half that the Tigers have missed wide left by an eyelash.
The shots from Fitzjohn and Hudson almost in the exact same spot.
30 minutes, 55 seconds for Erie to try and dig out of a 2-goal hole. And man, good link-up play that time from Manuel and Fitzjohn. As Folk trying to settle down now. Wolver quickly to Manuel.
You're going to need to see quick plays like that from Jeff in order to get a good play against this defense right now that looks like they have 6 in the back.
Yeah, this Skyview team really starting to park the bus now with the 2-goal lead.
And this is the idea, too, I think, with the evolution of soccer right now. We're seeing more fluidity in these formations. When you're playing on defense, it makes sense to have more in the back. When you're playing on offense, it makes sense to have these wing backs coming up. And I think a team that does that really well in high school, they're down to do very well in state.
Hollis will send that one up toward the midfield.
Jacob Marcou's playing a very, very solid game today. I love to see it. He's a senior out there playing possibly his last game. And he's playing excellent.
Under half an hour left to go now. And this one, Tigers.
If you know Jacob, you know he's probably thinking about taking a shot right now. Let's hope he doesn't.
And I don't know if that was the stadium lights that flickered there for a second. Felt like we might lose power here in this stadium. As this is
Great
one
ball.
sitting in the
Great
box,
ball.
headed on. Oh, just over the bar. I think that was Folk that got his head to it. And another good chance for the Tigers. And man, they have just missed by a couple feet here and a couple feet there. They have been knocking on the door, though.
Sam has been a commodity on those set pieces. We have a team that historically, again, does not do very well in the air, but Sam's come in and he's done extremely well using his head on that ball. I think it's the hair. It's probably the hair.
And that one goes out. Almost could have been called a handball there on Fitzjohn. But Crooks now back into the game for the Tigers, trying to re-add that scoring punch. Tigers really with the offensive forward lineup.
The picture was him with the bun.
27-53.
Erie's praying for a field goal right now. Now with 3 on the ball, the goal is to confuse that wall and confuse that keeper. Keeper's got to stay stoic throughout this. You might see a feint or 2.
And that one
Excellent
sent
save.
right into Hollis, and he bobbled it for a second, was able to hold on. We saw the Tigers give up a goal in a set piece late in that Pueblo game. Now ball sent up near midfield. Manuel trying to settle it down. Folk almost got to it. Skyview trying to really rip Erie on the counters here as Erie push numbers forward. And we keep seeing the stadium lights flicker just a little bit. And last thing you'd want in a playoff game is to have to postpone the end of this for a different time and day. 2-0 Skyview on top, 26-47 remaining here in this one. Crooks to throw it in here for the Tigers. Over with it, looking to relieve pressure now. Fitzjohn, and Fitzjohn gets tripped up, and he'll earn a free kick.
Again, ideally there, seeing a possessive heavy team, you're going to want to play that ball back. The idea is you got to play the way you face. Turn-in's a risk always. Jacob with a great foot up here, looking to play that long ball in. Line sacked on the 18.
See if they target Folk again. Another ball sent in, a little bit heavy this time. Oh, and a high grab from the goalie. Came off his line and had to snag that one out of midair with both paws.
You know, you never know. Playing that ball in the air is dangerous always. That was a great look from Jacob. Oh.
And a handball.
Oh,
yep.
no.
And it is called. And Skyview trying to start real quick here, and now they'll take their time as Tigers were quick to track back, but Nemeth just stuck out the old left paw to stop that. Honestly, he might have stopped that from giving up a 1-on-none.
You know, you got to do what you got to do. He made it out without a card, and that's a win right there for us.
Yeah, I was surprised not to see the yellow card come out.
You know, some refs will not be afraid to throw out a red card on that one. Again.
Yeah, not only do we not see a red, but we didn't see yellow, and that's,
I
think that's what surprised
me.
Yeah. So another dangerous set piece coming here from Skyview. And that one will ring off of the football field goal crossbar. And so Erie still trying to notch their first goal of the night. Feel like you could just get one, anything could happen. But you got to get that one and can't wait too long.
One thing to be wary of right now going into the late second half is these players are going to be a little bit tired. We got an Erie team that played last Saturday, went in double overtime, played that golden goal by Grady. These players are sore, no doubt. You're going to be looking for some extra fight from them.
A nice little pass there, but a good recovery from Erie and a foul called here on Skyview.
It's an excellent physical play from Jeff.
And we hear some noise from the Skyview side of the stands for the first side all night. We've heard the Erie parents. They've actually been pretty loud throughout the game. I think Erie might have more fans here than Skyview. It's difficult to tell because of the difference in the bleacher size.
Erie,
but it at least appears that way.
Erie traveling pretty well for this game. Skyview on the attack here. Erie has to get back quick defensively. A little 1-2 in the box, and Folk with a forearm shiver and no foul called. And Jackson, you mentioned earlier, this referee's been letting him play pretty loosely, and that could have easily been a PK.
He's calling a very loose game, and you know, we got to use that to our advantage. We got some very physical players out there that's got to take advantage of these calls, these no calls. Oh, great ball through. Come on, come on.
And Hollis comes quickly off his line to snatch that one. 22:55 left to go here in half number one. Tigers season dwindling down if they can't find a way to get a goal and then an equalizer.
As soon as that possession switches, we got a 6 in the back situation right here. So we got to take advantage of these quick balls right now. We don't have time to possess the ball.
Tigers trying to show a sense of urgency here. Nemeth with it, off to Wolver. Wolver tried to lay it up in the middle to Manuel, and instead it's a counter chance again for Skyview. They've had plenty of those here the last 5-10 minutes.
We're going to watch our mark come in on the top 18 right now, and he's open. He's open. Great defense. Well done, Grady.
And Grady, more than anything, had to show poise right there, and did well to do so.
Excellent take from Zach Higgins. And he's going to dribble up. Oh, great. Find the switch, find the switch.
Higgins tried to sneak a through ball up to Hudson.
That fast break's going to be the only win for us right now. We got to use those to our advantage.
As a big brother, you get a little bit nervous when you see your brother making a play and run the ball through the midfield there.
Definitely nervous for him, but man, I trust him out there. He's been super great on defense. We got a guy that's switched from playing forward to goalie to defense, and I think he's really found his spot, and Vihil's used him very well.
Now Harbaugh just missed corralling that one, and
that's gonna be offsides.
Offside
that's
there.
2.
There you go. 2 in this half. Nonetheless, is Nemeth's done a much better job here in the second half, kind of stepping forward for the Tigers.
I think there must have been a great halftime talk there from Vihil, seeing a defense much more combined right now.
Nice little skills there from Wolver to beat the defender.
Now Skyview's got 10 players in the back right now playing defense, and we've got to
Yes.
Got to find a way to switch that ball to open space.
Skyview is packing it in, that's for sure. I think you see a little bit why they didn't necessarily blow the doors off a lot of teams in terms of wide goal margins this year. I think they get a 1-2 goal lead. They're pretty content and happy, just kind of packing it in and playing solid defense.
Now that style of play has become more and more common, especially with teams like Man United making it more common to just park the bus. Toss those players on defense, fill out that box. It makes them beatable, though. We see United right now struggling very much in the EPL.
And that one is cleared away. Halfway through this second half, Tigers trail it. Tiger fans, if you are watching these playoff games, they are not cheap for us to broadcast. We would love for you to partner with us on our Patreon. That's the best way to support the Erie Tiger Network. Go to patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network, and you can support us for any custom amount, as little as $1 a month. And we'd really appreciate that, and that would help us long-term kind of cover our costs when it comes to stuff like this. So patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. You can also do the super chat as there's a header. Oh, and just off the line as Folk sent one in. That's a second good header we've seen from him. Again to Folk. He buries it, and Sam Folk cuts the lead in half.
Excellent header initially.
Tigers.
Wonderful finish from Sam Folk. Man, I love that kid.
Erie's threatened often when they've gotten down, and they've had some really close misses. They finally made it pay off there, and still with plenty of time for the equalizer.
You felt like they were been threatening all half. They've been the aggressor, and finally pays off, and all of a sudden it's a 1-goal game.
If I'm Blake, I'm talking to my defense right now about the importance of staying strong right now. More than ever, we've got a Skyview team that's going to look to get that goal back.
And if you're Erie, you don't want to get over-amped and then make a mistake. The Erie parents, they're loud. It almost feels like a home game.
Of course, we are on the Erie side in the visitor press box. Pretty nice facility out here at Deterro Stadium. That's a 1-goal game.
Number 1, Junior Sam Folk.
Great take from Blake, and great distribution. That's what you want to see from a center back. That's well done, Blake. Cole's going to look for the switch right now. Now he's seeing some vertical balls. We like seeing that. That's going to break that defense much easier.
18-18. Tigers with some confidence, and now a goal under their belt. We have seen some magical stuff this postseason from the Tigers. Can it continue here tonight?
And this is the benefit of having a back sweeper right there, is he's able to take that ball easily. He's a very athletic player out there, and that's one thing I love seeing from this team right now, is they're the most athletic team I think I've seen since my freshman year. And then Josh Meekles was a hefty, hefty guy.
Yeah. He was a freak, that's for sure.
Big 6'2", Netherlands stud with a giant left foot. And you want to see Cole compose right here in the midfield.
Tigers a little bit vulnerable here. A shot in and a score. And just as Erie put one on the board, they give one up. And that's what you said is you scored one. Now you got to be composed as a defense. And the Tigers, well, you see that skill for sure from Skyview. And they just made Erie pay for just a little bit of breathing room. They put it in for the top of the 18. It's 3-1.
Arguably more heartbreaking than taking a goal is taking one right after you've kind of come up with a point.
The momentum had shifted to Erie. Skyview took a lot of it back with that goal there.
You're asking a lot from these young players out there. You're going to want to see a lot of maturity, and you know these guys have the potential to do it, and Vihil's going to be leading them.
Tigers quickly back to work here, trying to connect with Harbaugh.
Luis Reyes.
Tigers have not been able to quite connect with Harbaugh on this left side for this entire half. We've seen him be a little frustrated as he's tried to take on some defenders with some good runs, and the Tigers just haven't been able to connect that pass in the final third to him. Now Hudson trying to turn the corner, settle it down. Hudson will cross it in, and that one is cleared away, but Fitzjohn has it, and Fitzjohn tripped, stolen. Crooks tried to lay it on a heel flick to Folk, and that one was stolen, and the Tiger fans didn't like that, but we've seen the ref let physical play go throughout this contest. Now play up, Crooks, little flick on. Manuel heading it toward Folk, trying to use his size to attack into the box. And Nemeth had to come up and make a strong play from the back. Bouncer in toward Harbaugh. Now Fitzjohn trying to touch it around the defender. Long shot here from Manuel, and that's collected by Fierro. 3-1 with 15:35 left to go. Saw the Tigers come back within one, and less than 3 minutes later, Skyview made it a 2-goal game again. But time kind of ticking out here, not the friend of the Tigers here on their 2019 season. Already a historic season for this Tiger squad, the first ever playoff victory.
The nice thing is we've got a rested Zach Crooks out there right now. We hope to see a lot of action from him in the next 14 minutes.
Fitzjohn looking, trying to send it up to Hudson, and that midfield for Skyview keeps tracking back and devouring long balls.
Well, that's one thing Grady Wolver is exceptional at, is maintaining possession, and I love to see him on the ball because you know he's going to be able to keep it. We got Behill talking to Blake right now. Looks like they might be switching to 3 in the back. You're not sure.
Throw in toward Folk. He's had the Erie goal. He almost had another on a header. Evan Hudson, Jeff Fitzjohn almost had goals. So, man, Erie is not far off in this, but it's been the difference of putting it on target. Skyview's been able to do it. The Tigers have just misfired a little bit here. Now Fitzjohn, a long shot, almost put it into the corner. And a diving save from Fierro, his best of the night, and a corner coming for the Tigers. And that was an accurate, well-placed shot from Fitzjohn, and now Nemeth is going to come up to add some height to the box as Tigers want to try and put this one in from the corner.
You got a wide open space right there in the front. That's an excellent low ball.
Low ball, deflects, shot in, and the Tigers get back to within 1 goal again. To add some height to the box as Tigers want to try and put this one in from the corner.
You got a wide open space right there in the front. That's an excellent low ball.
Low ball, deflects, shot in, and the Tigers get back to within 1 goal again. For the Tigers, and they're back in business with 13:21 left to play.
It did appear to be Fitzjohn. And now we mentioned last time not getting overamped, but we saw Skyview immediately transition into their possession-heavy offense. Can Erie get the possession back?
That's a great switch. Can we possess?
Hudson trying to hold on to it. Good job playing it back, keeping possession. Now a foul called And a set piece earned. And Erie's going to push numbers forward again.
Kind of rolling the dice on what call is going to be called and what call's not at this point, which is not a good or a bad thing.
12:30 remaining here in this one. Jackson Higgins, Grayson Blaylock joining me here. Broadcast booth as there's a high one sent in and another fingertip grab by Fierro. He's been pretty sure-handed tonight. But the Tigers have at least tested him on a couple of those set pieces.
Well read by Zach Higgins on that one.
I think he learned that one from his big brother. Throwing in, Erie Tigers pounding on the stands, trying to get their team in. Long shot whistles high. Ooh, that was a pretty good-looking bender that just went a little high.
One major difference you'll see from Skyview and Erie is they are not afraid to shoot from far out, and we have the ability to. You see it from Jeff Fitzron, especially with that left foot. He's got the ability to shoot. We got to ask for a little more shots from our Erie team right now.
Tigers.
Is that a handball? Who knows?
Looking for the equalizer here with 11:32 left. So still plenty of time to get one more.
That's some great energy you're seeing from our offense right now. We got Sam Folk playing a little defense up there up top. That's what we got to see in order to keep possession up there.
And Jeff Fitzjohn, one of the few seniors on this team, playing a game like, hey, this could be my last game. I'm going to leave everything I've got out here on the field.
You know, it's impossible to realize how great this moment is until you're looking retrospectively. A year ahead, looking back, high school soccer, there's really nothing like it. These guys will remember this night for a long, long time.
10:50 remaining, and once again, the Tiger fans, they are into this one, into the box. Cued out wide, Folk trying to settle it down. He'll take it to the corner, turns and tries to send a cross in and earns a corner. So the Tigers, they've been dangerous from corners tonight. They scored on one their last try, and we'll see if they can do it again. Harbaugh's raising his hand there at the back post. They're going to send it in toward him. Harbaugh coming in. Oh, and he sent it a little wide. Still in the box. Tigers trying to keep it in. Folk will head toward the net, and that one is cleared away as the Tigers right now have Skyview a little bit on their heels. They look a little bit snake-bitten. And a foul called, and is this one going to be on Erie? And it is. I thought for a moment there that was against Skyview, and that would have been a free kick from the center of the box, only 20 yards away. But
now, there's been much debate in soccer about the morality or ethics of calling a foul on the flopper. Would that be useful? Possibly.
The not so subtle undertones of the calls of Jackson Higgins.
Sorry.
Throw in here.
We
love it.
Jackson Higgins the fan and Jackson Higgins the commentator.
Now Blake will lay it off for Hollis. Harbaugh trying to gather a bouncer. Now he's trying to get around the defender. Good job getting shielded. And fans thought that Harbaugh might have touched it off the leg of the defender. 3-2, Tigers trail in a exciting one. And
now that is uncool.
I missed what happened there.
Maybe words being exchanged.
Now, one struggle you see from this ref right here is he's kind of a younger guy. He's got to be able to take some charge right now against these younger players.
And a yellow card called against Skyview, and so and now Harbaugh, and I've had Evan in class. I know what he's like, and I'll tell you what, Evan, notice how he doesn't get a card. He is he's quick to play the bashful, innocent one, but we know he likes to needle and talk to players a little bit.
He is an insider for sure.
So Evan doing his job there and earning the card against Skyview.
You see the mental game being played a lot right now, especially with these younger high school kids. It's going to play a big difference in these games.
The clock stopped at 8:53. They'll restart it on the throw-in here.
I'm scared. Let's go.
Now Skyview on the attack. Higgins trying to hold defensively. He'll turn away pressure.
That was an excellent read.
And good defense there from Higgins. It will earn a goal kick. So Tigers still in this thing, only down a goal. And the Tiger parents and fans have done a fantastic job trying to keep this team pumped and engaged, and that's what we're seeing out of these Tigers right now. They're playing like a confident bunch, and a little foul here. Almost could have called advantage there.
We're going to see a ref very willing to call a little more than he was before. He saw his game get a little out of hand at that point. He's going to see a little bit change.
8 minutes. Tigers will send numbers. We've seen a few instances, and they've been dangerous. Another long ball sent in, far post, headed toward the center, and scooped up by Fierro.
That was an excellent header by Cole. Great play across and a great, ooh, and he's down. One thing I think, Mr. Bird, that you don't want to see from our fans is a cheering on or a jeering of a hurt player. You never like to see it. The time stops.
Well, plus you don't know, and obviously in soccer, and you see it even in football, when teams run hurry up, that players will go down on the field, and sometimes it's not a real injury, but in this case, you just don't know. So I think you don't say anything and just see how it plays out, and hope that your team can use that to their advantage. Hey, if you are actually injured, that's unfortunate. If you're trying to pull a fast one, well, you're afraid. And so in this case, I think you just be quiet and assume that the player's injured, and that's what it looks like right now is, hey, as a goalie, you're coming forward. Sometimes you take a knee. Sometimes you land on the ground weird, and the ball will pop up into your chest. And so we're hoping everything okay there for Fierro in the net right now for Skyview. But, kind of a quasi-timeout. You're down 1. You're in the huddle. And what are you saying? What are you saying as a captain back there?
Right now, from what I can see, we're going to have Jeff being the talker. And if I'm Jeff, or Cole, it looks like talking right now, we're building up our team. We're talking to our defense. We're making sure our defense is solid, making sure they're communicating, and making sure that our midfield and offense are ready to take on whatever they need to do in order to score. Nerves are running high, undoubtedly, between both teams right now, and that's one thing that's going to play a huge role, is to see who can be more composed in the last 30 minutes.
And if Fierro has to come out of goal, and I don't know if he will, standing up now, that's a starting goalie out, which is big for Erie.
And he's been called on a lot tonight. And Jackson, I don't know this, in other sports at the high school level, if they stop play for you and you're injured, you have to at least come out for a little bit. Is that the case in soccer as well?
From what I remember, if we're stop and play, they've got to come out. I'm not sure what they're going to do right now with this rough situation. They're talking to our AD, Justin Carpenter. We've got a goalie in. I don't believe he'll be coming out. From what I saw, though, it looks like he got a...
Well, Skyview actually sent a player to take off his jersey. He's throwing on a goalie's jersey and gloves, so it does look like Fierro's going to have to come out of the game. So... one thing that's interesting is, as a goalie, part of playing goalie is getting into a rhythm. And in warm-ups, you want to touch the ball a lot, get a feel for the ball, get in that rhythm. If you're coming cold off the bench and you haven't touched the ball in a while, if you're Erie, you just want to send a long ball in, see how he handles it.
You take advantage of this play right now. As long as the ball's in, you got this new keeper, you take advantage of him.
Well, we hope Fierro's okay as he's
I
being
think he was grabbing his balls.
helped off the sideline. Pardon that hot mic. You heard a fan in the background mention.
Now injuries come in all shapes and sizes out there on the soccer field. You feel for the guy.
All right, so the only other goalie listed is Noria. Sam Noria, a senior for Skyview, but it almost looks like they pulled a player that was on the field already, so I'm not exactly sure who this is in net for the Tigers. Tigers trying to test here. Ball sent in toward the box. Erie, they are playing confident with some momentum, and they are trying to take charge of this one. And Skyview, maybe for the first time all game, the last couple minutes, they are back on their heels a little bit. And there's a difference between playing in a defensive posture like they have and being on your heels. And that's just, they just feel like they're back on their heels. And by the way, Fierro set to check back in, so he seems to be okay.
If I'm Skyview right now, I was looking to play that ball off at Erie, making sure our keeper gets a chance to get back in as soon as possible. This guy looks nervous on that back line. He's not come up at all since he got in.
Wolver trying to control, and they'll call him with the foul. 6:41 and counting here. 3-2. Skyview leads it. Erie trying to create some magic here. They have played their hearts out here at the Tiro Stadium in Thornton, as this one is headed out of play. Well, we've seen some pretty wild games on the ETN over the course of the last month. Could we see another wild one here? Erie down 2 goals. They scored to make it a 2-1 game, and Skyview within 3 minutes took it right back to 2 goals on a goal from the top of the box, made it 3-1, and then Jeff Fitzjohn buried a goal off a corner kick to make it 3-2, and 5:45 remaining here in this one. And an overlapping run in the box. Dangerous moment here into the middle and finally cleared away.
That's great initiative from Fitzjohn to clear that out as a midfielder.
Tigers are going to give up some looks here this late when you're playing in that much of desperation. Can you weather those storms and then put one in yourself? That's what the job is right now.
When 5 minutes hit, I believe we'll be seeing a lot more long balls coming from that Erie back line.
Another shot just misses, and Hollis, I think, knew it the whole time as he didn't even fully lay out. He just watched that glide on by the post, and that's always a good sign to see from your goalie. You know exactly where you're at on your angle.
Now, if I'm Erie right now, I'm using my wing backs, especially right now. You got Evan on that left side. We want to see us break down this defense, and there's space in that back left.
Tigers trying to send numbers forward and get a steal.
You got some sideline refereeing right now.
And Skyview doing the clock melting game really well. Harbaugh all the way back, loose ball in the box. Hollis has to come out, it's kicked and it's in. And a goal from Skyview, and that is a heartbreaker. A 4-2 lead. And it was Evan Harbaugh that tracked all the way back into the box trying to play defense.
You know, you see some heads down right now coming from Erie, especially these seniors. You know, if I'm Erie, I'm playing these 4 minutes as hard as possible. I go out remembering playing as hard as possible.
So it's been a fun season for this Erie soccer team. And right now, though, they're staring the last maybe 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 2-goal chasm this late. That is tough to do. But if you're going to do it, you got to score one quick.
See a little bit of a shoulder in there from Jacob Marcoux, getting away with it.
Now a long shot is high from Manuel. Well, this could very well be the last game for some of these seniors. We mentioned half a dozen of them. Pierce Sherry, Jacob Marcoux, Jeff Fitzjohn, Caleb Kumar, Daniel Trujillo, and Sam Duarte. The 6 seniors on this Tiger roster. But a young team that had a fun year. They started putting goals back in the net for the Erie Tigers, which was fun to see. And they'll get almost all that goal-scoring punch back. The only player with more than 5 goals is Jeff Fitzjohn, and an offside is called. And another card coming here, and this one going to be on the Skyview forward, and he will draw a yellow card.
Time was asked to be stopped at 3 minutes 5 seconds. Looks like it's still going. We'll see if they get that fixed.
So they did finally stop the clock. It was, I think, Jeff Fitzjohn that came back and said, hey, isn't the clock supposed to stop? But of the Tigers' 54 goals scored this year, they lose 7 of them. Well, a lot coming back for Erie next year. And a great year to build off of. But still time left, 2:51. Got to put a couple in, though.
If I'm Jeff Vigil right now, I am not in any way disappointed in how my team's played so far. They played with dangerous ferocity.
Harbaugh sent one in, and that was almost misplayed by Fierro. And it was misplayed, almost misplayed into the net, and it earns a corner.
Hollis coming to midfield.
A lot of numbers in the box. Tigers just couldn't quite get ahead to that ball. Now, trying to send it in. All 11 players for Skyview were in that box defensively. Trying to switch there, and now Nemeth will come over and sweep it away, and he's trying to get it and turn the corner, and a heel flick and a turnover, and now Wolver will come and pick it up.
You know, you see these young players out here possessing the ball, and it makes you excited about a year to come of some great possessive, talented football with some high soccer IQ that we haven't seen in a couple years.
Coach Vigil said, you know, we've had a lot of players the last couple years finally really get involved in the club scene, and he thinks that that has been a recipe that has helped turn this Tiger program back around.
What you see in really successful high school teams is a team that sticks together through the club season. You've got Centaurus right now. A lot of them stay together in the same team, and they're doing really well. Holy Family, a lot of them stick to the same team, and it's just, you'd like to see that kind of build in area, and I think Vigil's trying to. He's a Broomfield head coach as well as director, I believe, and he's trying to push for that club season. It makes a big difference playing year-round.
Well, the last minute of the Tigers season is upon us. It was a back-and-forth, action-packed second half, as 5 goals in all were scored in this half. 37 seconds left.
I don't think we've mentioned this all night. We might have at the beginning of the broadcast. Skyview, the 3rd seed in this entire bracket. Erie, the 19 seed. So for them to come out and play the way that they have tonight against a senior-laden team in the Wolverines, an excellent showing.
And an undefeated team, a team that's yet to lose. Yeah, they gave the Skyview team a little bit of a scare, for sure.
It's an excellent take from Zach Higgins right there, as we're in 3 seconds left.
And that will do it. A final score here. Skyview 4, Erie 2. That's going to do it for us here. Special thanks to Spencer Blaylock, who is our cameraman up on top of the press box. Thanks to the hosts, Skyview High School, as they open up their visitor press box to us. We're very gracious. For Grayson, and actually real quick before we go, just some final thoughts overall on this this season.
An excellent season overall for Erie, offensively especially. Major improvement for last year, and a lot of promise for the future with a lot of sophomores and juniors.
You know, it's a heartbreaker for the seniors out there, but we're seeing a hopeful team out there. We've got a plenty deep team, a deeply talented team coming in next year, and we had to say goodbye to these seniors.
Well, that will do it. For Grayson and Jackson, I'm Brandon. Thanks for joining us so much as that ends the book here on the 2019 soccer season. For everyone across the Erie Tiger Network, I'm Brandon Bird. Until next time, I'll chirp at you later.